Hey, what is going on, guys? Tony here, CCxRC. Today we are going to be looking at the ECB 3D printing SCX24 monster truck conversion kit here. This is the chassis that they sell on eBay, and it is 3D printed. Feels pretty rigid though in the case. They also sell these wheels right here, monster truck wheels that will fit right on. And then if you go ahead and buy the AMT 1/25th scale monster truck tires, they will fit right onto these wheels. So we're gonna go ahead and we've gotta have an SCX10 that we can take apart. I want this one because the links are closer to the same length than say like a deadbolt or whatever. So that's what I'm going with for this particular build. And you do need the chassis and shocks and motor and all that kind of stuff from this to put over onto this guy. It does come with some screws in here as well for assembling this. No directions. He does have a video online, but we're just going to kind of give it a go and see if we can figure it all out. So I think the first thing that I'm going to go ahead and do is just let's see how these tires fit on there. That'll be our first like kind of look at all this. Now these look to be like a Ziploc bag. Oh, they are. That's nice. Nicely packaged in here. These are not bead locks, but we don't have enough power that I'm going to even think about worrying about gluing or anything. I'm just going to put these on here and we're going to call it good once we get them onto the bead. It's a nice tight fit, snug on there. Man, guys, that looks good. You could paint it if you want. I'm gonna go with the black look. I just like it. So that was a great fit on there. Now we just gotta make sure that we get these directionally. Two of them each way, left and right sides. So I'm gonna go ahead and do this, and then we'll get to building and disassembling and doing all of that. Now I may change my mind at a later date and maybe just put a little bit of a bead of shoe goo in there, something that I can just pry off later. But as you can see, these look fantastic. All right, so our 4 wheels and tires are ready. Let's move over and take a look at the chassis. Looks like there are 2 of these really short ones here, 22 of the medium size, and 2, 4, 6 of the longest ones. And if I recall, those go into some of our bracing pieces here. Now the flat side, there's a flat side and that's our inside, and then there's a rounded side here that goes to the outside of the build. So these are the smoother rounded side, that is an outside edge. This is an interior as well, and then this smoother side is our outside for this one. So it'll sit like this. This is going to be our top brace. You can see it's got indentations here. That's going to go toward the back, and that's going to allow for that brace to go between it. These braces here. All right, so I've decided we're going to go ahead and just disassemble this for the time being so that we have everything ready to go. We are going to need quite a bit from it. It's a little bit messy. I do have my Reefs tool, which is nice because it's a multi-tool, but it has this 4mm in here, which I can use to take the wheels off. So I'm going to start just dropping pieces that I'm going to need from the car build into this little tray that has my logo in it, so I'll remember. So basically the hexes and the pins that go in the axles. So I'll get this all disassembled and get it to a point where we'll come back and show you guys a little bit about what we have going on. I will probably also switch my links out on this one while I'm at it and do some metal links. So we don't need the chassis. I'm gonna go ahead and unplug our electronics and our lights. We don't need those. We'll leave that mounted to the chassis. So just kind of looking here at what we're going to be taking. So we're going to take all of this off of here. We're going to want our battery strap because they do have it so that you can use it on the new build right here. Put it through like this, and that's where those two short screws I showed earlier are going to go, is in here to keep it from hitting the strap. And this front bump here is going to go toward the front to keep your batteries from sliding. All right, so that's a little step along the way. What we need are all of these screws to drop this off. We don't need the tray for the ESC. We do need the ESC, but it's going to have a different mounting tray. So it's stuck on here. We're going to have to try and pry it off. I don't want to break anything on this because who knows if I want to rebuild it. There we go. Ugh, it's that paper kind. So we got to get all this off of here. This doesn't actually look like it's going to be too bad to do. Probably the longest part for me is going to be swapping over the links. We're just going to start dropping. We'll take the shocks. And everything's going to drop on out of here. It's going to be nice. And then we just have to detach our links and our all right, so we've kept this thing pretty much together so it can be reassembled as needed at a later date. For the rest of you, you won't have to do this step. I want to do this step for myself. So I'm going to go ahead and swap in these hot racing parts. So while we're at it, everything in here, we're going to go ahead and give something else a try here. I've got this Reefs 99 Micro that I've had to put in one of my Jeeps for a little while. And this could be the time to give it a go. So we're going to pull it on out. You'll notice it's much longer and bigger than what's in here currently. So what we have is a different plate to mount it to. So we're going to see if this will work actually. So there's that. Now here's where we're getting to get creative, and we're just going to mount this servo on this upper part here. I have no idea if this means that it's going to hit the chassis of the monster truck or not. This could turn out to be a bit of a bust. So we're going to use the upper mount point. Okay, so I've got my metal links installed now. Uppers just need to mount. Got to get our drive shafts lined up again, and we should be ready to install it. We're going to use some of their medium-sized ones. Go right into this hole here. And the long ones are going to go into our links. Push in, make sure we get to bite all the way through. All right, we got it. Looks like it's going into our link, so that's good. I just have to hold on the back side here. Make sure I get some bite. Yeah. All right, so links are mounting up now. Happy about how that's turning out. Shocks for now. I'll go in this lowest middle one. But that shock feels like it's going backwards. So maybe it does want the deadbolt one with the longer rear link and the shorter front. All right, well, we're just gonna keep building. But that's something I'm seeing that's a little bit odd. And I will say I did notice that his setup did look like it used the longer rear links. So that's a possibility as to why that's the case. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and put the other chassis plate on here. And I find you have to go in here and push against this to get it to really bite. So we're gonna push. There it goes. We're gonna do a medium screw. And this next part, it's just gonna go into the skid plate only. And then we'll do another long one into the next link. So it just gets it nice and tight. While we're here, I'm gonna go ahead and put this shock on. Find it easier to just go ahead and get that lined up and move it into position. I'm actually wondering about maybe leaving the longer front and then getting the long rear ones as well. I don't like the geometry of this so far, but if I put longer rear links on from the deadbolt and left the other ones on, it might be kind of cool. We need to put in our tray, which is this piece right here, and this is going to be for our electronics. And it luckily sits back here. But we should be able to offset our ESC enough that it won't hit the on our servo, so that's good. So far I'm liking the clearance we have for that servo. We need our battery tray here. This is going to mount down in using this front lip part. Forward is our stop for our battery as we put it in. We're going to do the medium screws, the front and the back side, and then in the middle we're going to do the shortest screws that came in the kit, and that is to allow the strap. We've got the body mount part. And he said there's no right or wrong way to do this. So we're going to put them with the brace on the inside. This is so you could put in like body posts, I guess. It's also a front one. That's going to go right up here. Still giving plenty of room for our servo movement. And this is going to be 4 more of the medium screws. Then we're going to have our upper. So we're going to use 2 mediums at the top. That upward, like so. Then there are 2 braces our long screw. We have 2 more long screws. They go through here to mount this top piece. Whoop. Boom. And then last one's going to come down to here. I've already ordered a, I think it's 4300 kV brushless system for this to try out. Found it on eBay. There's a couple I'm looking at. I think the other brand is Furatech is the name of it. I'm looking at their ESC system. I have some alcohol, some paper towel, this ESC, and we're going to wipe down this surface too, just to make sure we get maximum adhesion. No oils on there. Let it dry for a minute. Actually, I set that one down in the dirt. Let me do it again. There we go. There we go. I'm going to put it down in here. Pull across. There we go. On-off switch to this side. Everything. All right, guys, here it is. This is the finished looking product for the most part. This is the chassis. I did go ahead and upgrade my links and put on metal links in here, as well as a front steering link. And these are hot racing here, and then also the servo mount. I went with a hot racing one that is built for the Emax servo, so it doesn't have the back cornering on it, which allows this to sit in here on top of the link here in the back, so the wishbone. But yeah, I need to center this up still. We need to put power to it. Everything went together real easy. The longest part of the build for me was actually switching out the links and the servo. If I'd have left it stock, everything would have literally just dropped off of one and stuck into this one very quickly. So I need to grab a battery. We'll mount the tires up on here and we'll give it a quick test, see how it does. Haven't actually tested the tires yet to see the fitment. That feels pretty good. All right, everybody, here it is. It's all done. And I'll tell you what, this servo is definitely moving these big tires on here. It seems quick, but it's really not that quick. It tops out really fast. So no real jumping unless you get a brushless or something in here. But it's actually faster than I thought it was going to be. Alrighty, you guys, here it is all done. I still need to button up this wire here in the front, but you can get a good look at it. This is the ECB 3D printing chassis that you get like this. I got one of his special edition ones when I saw him offered up in the silver 3D printing plastic. So I got one more of these to build. It also came with the cool silver wheels, so I'll have to decide how I want to do these and split them up and all that. I don't think that these shocks are going to be able to handle the big plastic bodies, or metal bodies, I guess, that I was hoping to put on by Spin Master. So we'll have to look for some more better shocks. This would fit on here awesome if you cut the insides out a little bit, grind it out. But it's really heavy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my snap tight body, which is a perfect fit on there. We're going to grave digger it. And it's so lightweight, nice plastic. It's got a little plastic windshield in there as well. Velcro should hold this guy on there, no problem. So we'll be able to drive this around with a body looking very, very cool. Give you guys a little look there. Again, lots of movement with the tires. Get a little more speed and this thing will be really rocking. It's definitely got the torque, just needs a little bit more high end, and she'll be off to the races, having some fun indoor racing with these little, I'll call it SMT24. This is a solid axle monster truck, 24 scale. You know, I really wish that Axial would, or one of the companies would just come out with something like this. You know, can have a generic body we can get. I mean, this is model scale size, so there's a lot of 25th scale models out there. Monster trucks, whatever, we can adapt bodies to it if we want to do basically what we're doing with the 10th scale and getting wraps made and all that kind of cool stuff. But check it out, guys. Grave Digger, 24th scale, monster truck, ECB 3D printing chassis on it. All you have to do, I went the extra mile, did the hot racing metal links and stuff down low. You don't have to do that. It would make it a faster swap for you if you didn't. These are AMT tires, and these are from eBay, but also Mofo RC sells these as well, and he does a whole bunch of stuff. He's actually got a 3D chassis I just saw for monster trucks as well. I didn't know that he had been doing it. I know he's doing rock bouncers and all that, but I just saw it. So this is really easy to put together, guys. You just drop out your shocks and basically your skid plate out of your other chassis. Pry out your ESC off of the basically the double-sided tape, and that's it. Steal your Velcro, bolt it all together, and you're good to go. Very simple build process, guys. If you look on eBay, you might get lucky and score up something like this right here. This model version of the Grave Digger, or they had Max D and some other ones as well, and you can get yourself that. This micro servo, the 99 micro, is a game changer for this as far as steering power, guys. The steering, even with SCX24 wheels with the stock servo, is nothing like this. This thing's definitely got some power, and glad to have it on here and ready to go, guys. Thanks for tuning in as always. Have fun RCing. Catch you in the next video.